Now, Leicester manager Dean Smith is convinced there is enough quality to keep Leicester in the Premier League. First up for him, it's Manchester City at the Etihad tomorrow. We can go live to Daniel Khan at their training ground. Hi there, Dan. I mean, you were in that news conference. I mean, given the size of the task facing him and this Leicester team, how did he come across?
Yeah, good morning, Hayley. As you said, just come out of that news conference with Dean Smith. I have to say, he came across very confident and also, I think, positive. And I think two words we're going to hear a lot till the end of the season under Dean Smith and his trio of Craig Shakespeare and John Terry is going to be belief and confidence. And I think that was their top priority. And in his first answer of this press conference, I asked him, well, Dean, why Leicester? Why, when you're 19th, 2 points from safety, why take this job on? And he was very confident and assertive that, you know, this was a decision he made with those Shakespeare and Terry as well. Something that they really thought, looking at this squad, looking at the games left, and also knowing the players that he's faced against when he was at the Aston Villa manager, that he is confident enough that he can keep this side up. But as I said, belief is a really strong word that he's going to use quite a lot. And he used earlier this week when he was appointed. And I also asked him during his press conference how he's planning to instill that into this squad going into the last 8 games of the season. And this is what he said.
Well, we can't get away from, I think we've lost 7 out of the last 8 games. You know, so confidence is not going to be high. You know, I watched the Bournemouth game and if I was 80-20 for taking the job then, I probably went down to 50-50. But I know the players. I've come across the players before and we've played against them. And we know it just needed a lift. And I felt with the 3 of us coming in, I was confident that we could give them a lift. And, you know, the first 3 days we've had with them has been, you know, we've seen great attitudes, great quality, great enthusiasm. And we're trying to put some smiles on the faces, which is tough given the situation we're in. But I've always been a big believer that if players go out and train with a smile on the face and play with a smile on the face, you know, they can lift their confidence very quickly.
Yeah, and hey, this is a team that are desperately looking to change their kind of recent form of results. They've lost their last 3 games, but all by a goal here or there. In the last 10 days, they lost to Palace, Villa last Tuesday, then Bournemouth, and they're all due to individual mistakes largely. And interestingly enough, James Maddison, he did make a mistake against Bournemouth when they conceded that goal to them last Saturday. And it was really interesting. Dean Smith said that he spoke to Maddison about that mistake, and it's all about getting belief back into him and the rest of the team. There was quite a lot of comparisons between how to get the most out of Maddison as well as Jack Grealish, that comparison when he had him at Aston Villa. And it's said that, you know, Dean Smith really got the most out of Grealish when they stayed up that season and the following season as well. Just running through some team news because they take on Manchester City tomorrow at the Etihad. Youri Tielemans, the creative midfielder for Leicester, he's back in training. We saw some video and pictures of him earlier this week. Whether he's on the bench or in the lineup, we'll yet to see, just because he's not had a lot of minutes. He's not played any under-21 games as of yet either. But on the negative side of things, Leicester will be without Ricardo Pereira, the right back, as well as Harvey Barnes. Both of them will be out with hamstring injuries. So it'll be really interesting what Dean Smith does with that forward line, whether Patson Daka or Tete come in on one of the sides, or do you shift Maddison out to one of the wings as well. But as I said, a really difficult game. They're looking for their first win since February 11. That came against Spurs, but they're coming up against the City side who just beat Bayern Munich. We know a title challenging Arsenal, chasing them down, and of course up against Erling Haaland, who has 30 Premier League goals already this season. So yeah, we'll wait to see how Dean Smith gets on in his first game tomorrow.
Oh, Dan, what a task facing them, haven't they? Right, thank you very much indeed. Well, staying with Dean Smith, the new Leicester manager was actually preparing to watch the Masters in Augusta. When he was asked about the position, Smith was asked about whether any discussions had taken place for next season, but he is refusing to look any further than the next 8 games.
It's not a conversation we've had. I think ultimately it's an interim job, and you know it's 8 games, 7 weeks. You know, last week I was watching the Masters on Tuesday and Wednesday, and in Augusta, and you know now I've been back to England, very windy, but looking forward to the challenge now.
You can see Dean Smith's first game in charge. City against Leicester, a live Saturday night football from 5 o'clock.